Diddy is seen violently attacking Cassie after chasing her in hotel the world watched in horror last month as footage emerged of former hip-hop superstar P. Diddy violently attacking his former girlfriend, singer Cassie Ventura, in a hotel hallway. The disturbing video surveillance showed the star slam her to the ground, then kick and drag her across the floor in an attempt to prevent her from leaving. He is far from the only celebrity to commit acts of violence against a partner. Legendary performer Tina Turner said she endured years of abuse at the hands of her husband, while, in 2009, Ray Mayday singer Chris Brown was accused of punching his former partner Rihanna. Many of the female victims say they were surprised by the violent behavior of the person they loved, who was gentle and kind when she met him. So how can women spot a person with the potential to become violent? Speaking to dailymail.com, experts say while there are a multitude of reasons why men become abusive, there are a few common predictors. Recent footage released of former hip-hop superstar P. Diddy shows him slamming his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura to the ground, kicking her and dragging her across the floor. Recent footage released of former hip-hop superstar P. Diddy shows him slamming his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura to the ground, kicking her and dragging her across the floor. In 2009, abusive singer Chris Brown was accused of punching his former partner Rihanna. These include a need for control and power, a feeling of entitlement, a lack of self-esteem, and cultural attitudes about domestic violence they use to justify their behavior. When cart tease, workers who rehabilitate abusers have told of reasons cited by the criminals themselves. These include using physical force as a way of obtaining sex and preventing partners from leaving. The National Coalition Against Domestic Violence (NCID) estimates 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men in the U.S. experience some form of domestic violence, also called intimate partner violence. On average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by their partner, equating to more than 10 million men and women per year. While abuse can be perpetrated by men and women against both men and women, the U.S. Department of Justice found at least 85% of victims are female. How Diddy made himself the victim in apology video, where he does not mention ex-girlfriend Cassie article image. The non-physical forms of abuse can be just as harmful but harder to identify. The abuser may express a need to take ownership of finances, where their partner goes, who they talk to, and what they wear. They also bully and manipulate, verbally berate, and make their partner feel guilty for no reason. Gail Wheel, a licensed psychotherapist in New York, told dailymail.com, "There's no single reason or factor that determines why someone becomes abusive, but there are some common psychological factors that can contribute. These include a need for control that stems from a man's low self-esteem, feeling threatened by their partner's independence or success. Many abusers may also have a history of witnessing abuse, for instance, between their parents. They may also view violence as an appropriate way to resolve conflict or have difficulty expressing emotions that can lead to aggression. Abusers may think they have a right to power. Often, they believe men are dominant figures in relationships, leading them to use abusive tactics to get and retain control. Additionally, Mrs. Wheel said cultural beliefs and environment play a major role in abuse, and social pressures also contribute. She added, last, societal narratives may downplay or even excuse abusive behavior from men, particularly if it's seen as assertiveness or protectiveness. This can lead men to minimize their violent actions and prevent them from seeking help for unhealthy behavior patterns. Watch out for friends who joke about controlling their partners, make light of violence, or blame victims can normalize abusive behavior. This can make a man who is already struggling with anger or control issues feel like his actions are acceptable. Dr. Brian Tierney, a psychologist, agreed, telling this website he believes the social construction of masculinity is toxic and pop culture, like movies and music play, important part in influencing the male internal narrative and emotions.